Carlos Baleba is finally a Manchester United player. It's taken how long? Only a couple of days. Yeah, not that long really, is it? Smash the like, subscribe if you're brand new. If you're a Baleba, you are buzzing. Nice little play of words there. Please, yeah, smash the like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We're gonna go through everything. Let me know how you're feeling out of 10 in the comments below, please, people. Out of 10, this is important, right? Remember, we've got a few things to point out, right? And we're gonna definitely be pointing out the thing. Apparently, certain people don't think this is going to be a good signing, especially some people's favorite content creators thinks he's mediocre, not good enough. When, you know, certain legends have been telling us for a long time that we've needed some little bit of brute strength in the middle of the park, physicality, alongside with technical qualities. Now, I don't know where you're going to look further than Carlos Baleba, but it'd be interesting to see how Manchester United fare up with him in the squad and see what Carrick does with him. Does he go in straight as a starter? Is he actually injured? I don't know. But he's a Man United player. So now, you know, the telescope is going to be on every single performance as per usual, like as per every single signing we ever make. Nothing new, back to business, right? Let's just support him. But welcome to Man United. Let's go and see what they had to say on the official website now. The Cameroonian international has signed a contract until June 2031 with the option to extend for a further year. So that's good stuff. At the age of 22, Baleba has already established himself as one of the most talented midfielders in the Premier League. During the 24-25 season, his combined number of tackles and interceptions was the 6th highest amongst midfielders in the league, while he also ranked 4th highest for progressive ball carries per 90. Now that makes me wonder if Carrick is looking at him to mould in and around the 6 with that statement alone. Last season, Baleba played 31 games in the Premier League, ranking in the top 8 percentile of players for combined tackles and interceptions, as well as top 1% for second balls won. Oh, wow. Helping Brighton Hove Albion to qualify for the UEFA Conference League. So let's get one thing over the line, people, right? We're going to keep going through it afterwards. There's a lot more, as you can see. Look. Don't worry about it. Let me go back to the big screen. See, this was meant to be a Baleba poor season. Remind people of that because of the huge expectations and the obviously highlight of him in previous games or previous seasons, if you want to go and count Ligue 1, then, well, we don't mind that, do we? If this is a poor season, that's some midfielders' ceiling. That's their ceiling, mate, and that's his poor one. Do I admit, yes, last season wasn't always pretty in the eye, but it can be refined. He is 22 years of age, and I can't wait to see him in red, especially coming out to Old Trafford this weekend. Of course, I don't expect him to be fit. He hasn't exactly been on a training ground yet, as far as we know, so we'll have to wait and find out if he's going to be, you know, fit probably for the likes of Everton, because if going by anything of the whole City game, we could really use physicality against those lot, because it's always proven to be a difficult game to go and do business. Like last year was a horrible performance, but we shall go back onto this. Carlos Baleba, he said a few words. It's an incredible feeling to join the club of my dreams. Playing at Old Trafford is always special, but the opportunity to do so as a Manchester United player will be a real honour. I cannot wait to work with Michael Carrick. His experience and knowledge of the game make him the perfect coach to help me reach the highest level. The ambition of everyone at the club is extremely clear. The future is hugely exciting. I am determined to play my part in delivering the success that we are capable of together. And then Wilcox obviously made a couple words, as he should and would do. Carlos is an elite midfielder with immense potential to develop further. He brings a unique combination of qualities that will really complement our squad. We are delighted to further strengthen our midfield with the addition of an established senior international with a proven track record of playing in the Premier League, performing. Carlos' determination to join Manchester United and his confidence that we'll achieve our shared ambitions mean that he is the perfect signing as we continue to build a dynamic and entertaining team ready to compete across multiple competitions. And that is probably exactly where and why Manchester United were or was and have looked at him and now have signed him, because of that factor of multiple competitions. Good words. Now, you have to give credit where credit's due, because a lot of people love to slam it on Wilcox. And, you know, I wouldn't exactly say this is exactly a Vivell signing. I think this is a Wilcox-driven signing. As far as I know, you know, you can't. They're a team, and it's easy to always point, you know, the rubbish signings towards Wilcox, and you just got to say, look, he got this one over the line. And when you look at our complete midfield rebuild, if we do all totals together, right? So Baleba, 70 million, 35 million for Tielemans, 50 million for Santos. So when you add that all together, you're looking at about 100, and if I'm correct with my mathematics, is that 155 million pounds in total? And that's including a few add-ons of like 7 million. So the whole midfield rebuild budget is being well spent. And I would say it's been well spent, and it's going to get better. People forget we have Kobbie Mainoo. We have a very, very good mix, different kind of profile players in our midfield. I don't think it's exactly missing anything. Maybe a Rodri Sanderberger type player, perhaps. But I think we will be fine. I definitely do. People do forget how much, you know, Mainoo runs and how much he actually contributes. It's just that the narrative by rivals will always try to play him down, as even people in our own fan base, as much as possible. But I'm definitely excited. I think he goes in as a mainstay sort of player. I think when you're looking at big games where you need to drive and away games, you really could do with that Baleba type profile, and I'm so buzzing to see it, because we haven't had a signing like this in, I don't know, since forever. I think the closest thing we have had to a Baleba profile, and this is by a far stretch, by the way, unless somebody else can remind me, I'm gonna say, it's funny, he's still at the club, is Toby Collier. When you think of someone that can carry the ball decently in terms of have a bit of physicality about them, and, you know, quite like, what, like 6 foot or something like that, yeah, I think it's Toby Collier. I don't think anyone else, unless somebody can remind me. I'm not hearing Scott McTominay, not that guy. But look, regardless of all of that, we've done some sensational business, and of course we're gonna be focusing on the left back. But, you know, going further forward into these things, we're gonna have to kind of mix and match these profiles together in the midfield to serve the best purpose. Like, if you're playing Manchester City at home, that's coming up soon. Well, what a game for Baleba to showcase himself, right? Running right through the middle of that field. We always struggle against the Elliot Andersons kind of players. So I'm just thinking of along them lines. But there will always be a place for someone like Santos, Mainoo, Tielemans in certain criteria of different games, right? Could even see them feature all together. People need to get that into their minds. Sometimes life after certain players in our team is going to have to be, you know, it's going to have to be drawn up. It's going to have to be experimented, and we're going to have to see what it's going to look like, right? And I don't always agree with the consistent throwing our best players under the bus scenarios. So conversations online, but they can be warranted, but just not in the manner that people love to go to. But Baleba is going to help that. I really do think so. You know, he's got a good jumping ability as well. He's got a great leap. You know, when it comes to tackles, the statement proves itself. It's showing you how good and how capable he is when it comes to ball carrying, interceptions and tackles, even during a bad season, right? And I think we're going to see a lot of that. And people forget, you know, we always talk about the perfect partner for the likes of Kobbie Mainoo as well. And I don't think you have to look much further than the likes of Carlos Baleba to do the dirty work behind him. And of course, when you got players like Maguire in the back, then, well, perfect, right? Luke Shaw, when he does play, and hopefully doesn't as much as he should, we might find ourselves in a bit of a pickle in terms of what we might see. We'll see. Anyways, smash the like, subscribe if you're brand new, get your ratings out of 10. This whole midfield rebuild, I need something out of 10. So I'm going to go first. Isolation, I'm going to say probably an 8.5. I'll say an 8.5, just because of the unknowns as well. So yeah, people, love.